are Jupiterian messages. You're like, damn, girl. No, it's going to get heavy on the juice around here. I told you, we're going to be doing a lot more because we're doing less. Really? This is how I stay fed. I told you, every time you get hungry, you got to go to God. Really? He feeds you. He's your milk and honey. You feed your spirit, not your flesh. But I was getting weak and I had to drink this dirty shit. Really? I don't really taste. It's got 42 grams of protein though. So maybe that's good. Realistically, it's elite chocolate and other natural flavors. Really? Yes. But I need something more. I need something more. Who am I? I am Lilith reincarnated. I am the High Priestess Phoenix. I am your spiritual everything and nothing at the same time. In order to keep up with me, you had to see when I post in my community, my latest live video, and anything in my shorts. I just did a really epic live video about the oneness of God, that is the supreme Godhead that lies within all things, and the annihilation of the material world and the recreation of that. Like, who the fuck? What the fuck? Do you want me to pull out some tarot? I could put a card on this bitch. Throw some D's on that bitch. I make jokes. I talk dirty too. There's commercials. There's spirit guides. It's a whole show over here. Realistically, yep, we're in the highest levels of dimensional teachings, and the more that I fast, the higher we get. Where does it all start? Oh, right here, in your heart. And I just want to point out the next card. And the next card. And what do you really need to do? You need to get blasted by the freaking rainbow ray. Really? In order to have any idea what we're talking about, because we already talked about all of this prior to those cards that I just bought. Are you a psychic? No, I'm connected to God. But they call me that, and a medium, and a seer, and a sage, and a mystic, and a starseed, and an archangel. Oh my God. Really? Yeah, I'm just a reincarnated soul. Which one? The Lilith. God's goddess of all times, giving Adam and Eve and their little descendants the knowledge of the gods one more time. Really? Tasked. Welcome to my task. We're going to read about this? No, I don't want to start with this. I wanted to start with this. These are brand new cards, but this is a brand new book. And I want to read this separately. Why? Because I'm with the planetary rulers. No, that made me very angry. I just did a whole teaching with the maintainer of the universe. I got to bring them back. And now we're jumping into other teachings. Really? Well, we're going to talk about the acts of Christ too, the Holy Ghost. It's all connected when you're up here. They sit at the highest thrones. These are the ascending masters. All of this, oh, and Metatron, who got me there. He's like my babysitter. He's my golden key. Really? Keywords. Really? Jesus is the rainbow path. Forgiveness is the way. Can you keep up? No, of course not. I don't expect anyone. As long as I don't have any expectation that anybody understands me, I can just keep speaking freely. If I'm not trying to really dumb it down, then I can just have fun with what I'm doing. Really? Yeah, let me move on to the Manual for Planetary Leadership by Joshua David Stone, a PhD in who knows what. Really? You're going to get me there. I just want to point out, who's my spirit team? All of them. Planetary. Really? Yeah, has to do with the container of the universe. Metatron, who is the all-father of the universe. Melchizedek, who is the bridge to ascension. Jesus, who is the path. Then you need Krishna and Buddha, and then all of your dark feelings. Got it? Cool. Let's go to heaven. Really? Heaven on earth. We're stuck here in the physical, remember? I explained what that meant, and I will do a teaching on dimensions quite soon. Really? Let's open up to the comments to the nonsense. Okay. Ready? Set. Go. It's supposed to be easy to understand volume of some bullshit. Oh yeah, we got stuck on the first page because we ended up with another ascending god, which was El Mora, who gave us the first ray of power. The first ray is the will or the power aspect of God. Personal power is an important quality in achieving psycho-spiritual health. Without personal power, you will become completely victimized by your energies. Your personal power is your willpower. For those that study tarot, that would be your wands. What did I pull out? In the last video, somebody had me pull out, actually, we got the 3 of wands, which is your foundation. Is it being rocked? It should be. Tomorrow's a tower. Twin towers are coming down, which is what? Go to my last video. It's your reality. It's fake. You shall create a new reality within your mind. once we destroy the shit in front of you. I'm trying to, I finally understand what he's doing to you on the outside. It's for the inside work. Really? Well, I've been doing this work for a while. Personal power translates into self mastery, self discipline, and the ability to remain focused and committed at all times and being the cause rather than the effect of your reality. And there was Sir Master fucking Bruce Lee that came in on my shorts. He was talking about reaction and response. It translates into being a master of yourself and your life rather than a victim. It also translates into having spiritual warrior archetype ready available at all times. In my opinion, personal power is the number one key quality for becoming an effective leader. I'm going to lead you into the new world. Most people own their power as long as they have physical energy, alertness, and wakefulness. Okay, I'm not very physically fit. My focus is really off. And as far as wake, I'll be like totally daydreaming all day. And I take lots of naps. Call it my age. Realistically, I'm just saying. As their physical vitality goes, so goes their personal power. Oh, see, you're not all there, are you? I never was. No? Mm-mm. My power isn't on the outside, it's on the inside. The key to understanding personal power is not to give it away to anyone or any aspect within yourself, ever. Okay, and I spoke about that at the end of the video, how I had finally learned my lesson of how I gave myself in a submissive way to the happiness of others, specifically in an interpersonal relationship. Really? Yes, fears of commitment. It's not you, it's me, because I act like an idiot and I lose my life giving it to you, and you just walk all over me. Did you see it done with the last guy? I know you didn't meet my ex-husbands, but this is why I don't fucking date. To date. Really? Yeah. Do you like how I lift my powerful voice? It's so you can hear me in the back of the auditorium. Realistically, I have a very powerful voice. I'm gonna use it to sing and shit one day. All right. The key is to always remain in your power. It takes great mental discipline and training. You don't want to give your power to your thoughts, feelings, emotions, desires, physical body appetite. I'm on a fast. I'm 2 days in and I feel like I've been at it forever, which is stupid because I could go for days and be like, damn, I haven't eaten. Not this time. We're using discipline. Realistically, it's because I told myself I was going to do it. If you don't tell it, that's why they don't tell you. I prepared for my mind for this, had a big fat meal, and now I act like I've never missed a meal. Really, it's the mind. It's playing tricks on me. My body's fine. Really, beautifully. Anyways, don't give in to your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, your desires, your physical body appetite, your sexuality, your instincts, imagination, dreams, sub-personalities, or any inner qualities. Once you have mastered this work, oh gosh, then you become like him. He teaches all that. Dude, I don't have a freaking altar big enough for you guys. And I got to admit that Martin Luther King is nowhere here and he still needs to be up there. Realistically, I barely was able to get Marilyn Monroe on the altar. There's all coming through all the time. Realistically, self-mastery. It's part of Buddhism, but I just taught you that it's the same as Hinduism, which also Jesus told you. In the love of Christ. Seriously, what language do you speak? And that's what it is. I did a whole teaching last night that we were going to anoint Royce the 5'9" so he could speak many tongues. That's what I'm doing over here. Really? Well, luckily it's been translated into English, but even then I translated it into some ghetto fabulous nonsense, put it into lyrics. All right. True leaders maintain their personal power at all times, no matter what the situation. We talked about this. Who's that guy? What was it? The King of Pentacles. It was a guy. No, it was the Emperor. It was both. A person you want in a crisis. Really? Yeah. Who are you going to turn to when the shit hits the fan? Are you looking for someone else to lead you, or you lead your family and others? Hey, I just want to point out, when we started having all those fire drills, I always had this thing. There was this lady on the 5th floor. I talked about her many times. Remember? She had a fucking wheelchair. She had a walker. She was an older lady with a walker. She had a small kid. And I always said, I didn't text you. That was a long time ago. I know. I was like, why aren't you guys receiving my texts? It was God. He's always in my energy, fucking with the fucking, swear, fucking God. I can't do anything digital. He fucks with all my shit. Really? That's why I have to have patience with the digital world. It's my energy. People think it's fucking funny, but it's not. Every time I come up, they're like, something's wrong with my computer. Hold on. It's not you, it's me. Something's wrong with the register. It's not you, it's me. Something's wrong with the pump. No, it's not you, it's me. I can't find it. It's not you, it's not me. Your paperwork was lost and it's not you, it's me. Why? I mean, it's not me, it's God. Going back to these situations. You need somebody that can lead you. And going back to that lady, I said, in the event of an emergency, I'm going to grab that lady. I just want to point out they put her on the first floor now. I would see her every morning, but I was going to take her down. That was my plan. In the event of emergency, if it's ever real, I'm grabbing that lady. Why? Because nobody comes up to grab her and it takes her a long time to get down the stairs. I feel like I could throw her, she could lay on my back and I could get her down the stairs faster. Why? I just have a belief in my strength. If I just did that, I could get her down faster and she'd be safe. She has small children. She has a grandchild. He's very small and I think autistic. He's always got his face. Yeah, spectrum, and he's always got his face in a screen. But I always thought that. I always think about the people around me, not just me, but you know what I mean? In the event of emergency. I said it in my past videos. You know it's true. Really? Yes. Who can you save? The elderly and the children. Seriously, but we're filled with them. So realistically, you can't say every man for himself because there's not very men in here. There's there's not too many men in his building. Realistically, me and my son caught them making a fucking TikTok video today. It's like, what the fuck is going on? Did you see them?
Yes,
I was like, I heard them out the window and I looked out the window and there was a bunch of guys in the parking lot and they were filming them and they were doing I say it was a TikTok because I don't know what else you put that on. Seriously? Yes. Men. These are the men that's going to lead us out no, they're not. They need their women. All right. This leads us to even-mindedness, involved detachment, divine indifference, objectivity, ability to witness, what is this? Quanimity? Wait a minute. Pronounce that word. Quanimity. I didn't know that was a word. And mental and emotional stability. This is what I've been training for. Mind you, I came in here with severe mental illnesses. If they could do something, that's what God loves. He loves to show what he can do, the wonders. He's like, did you see this messy, dirty, filthy bitch I started with? Look at what I made her. Really? That's what's so funny. People are like, how did you become like this? Hey, bro, I was like super mentally ill and I was like, thought I was going to be a rap star or something. Just kidding. I wasn't. Like, my life was okay, but I mean, and then it wasn't. And God made me something unbelievable. I didn't lose those qualities. He gave me all new qualities. He gave me a whole new life, but he demanded that I left the life I had. In order to have a new house, I had to get out of that one. Really? Well, I didn't just freely give it up. I had to quit paying the bills and get kicked out, but I did what I was supposed to do. And my biggest fear was having an eviction on my credit. Again, God messes with the internet. There's no eviction. Really? Yeah. He kicked me out of the fucking tree I was living in, but there's no proof of that. I even lived in that tree. Super funny. Seriously? I'm so serious. He made me give up a lot of things to become what I am today. And that's what I try to teach you. I understand what it is because I went through it. And that's what makes me your leader. I'm not just somebody that's going through it. It's like, no, I'm reliving it over and over with other people as I become stronger in it. And it's called the wheel. Really? Till the wheels fall off, motherfucker. All right, the second key to leadership quality. If personal power is the key to the first and being an effective leader, then love is second most important quality. I think you got them backwards, bro. I think anybody, well, that's not true. I look at someone like Lewis and Allie that are full of love, but they're not really leaders in that. They're not leaders of the new world. They're great inspirers, though. True spiritual leaders in whatever field may use their power in a loving way. Hitler, Stalin, Mussolini, Khan, Napoleon. Go ahead and throw Trump in there. Do you guys have any names out of your bags you'd like to? All had personal power, but they did not have love. All you need is love, love. I told that to Wolfman. What is the power? It's your heart. Where is it? That's what starts all this. For me, it was a twin flame that I told today to never contact me again in this living life. Do those words really stand? I don't really think they stand for shit, but hopefully I blocked him too. But that never seems to work either. Okay, realistically, moving on. That's how it works. Really? Love. Starts with, for me, it was a twin flame. It was a love for a person. And through that person, I learned to have love for myself and for that person and for other people and for God. And it just kept going and going and going. Really? Yeah. You want to give into your loving heart? If you don't give into it, then you're never going to be powerful. First ray blended with the second ray is personal power blended with love. This is why the master. Oh no. Are we going to do this on every page? Oh my God, they are. Really? There's unbelievable amount of ascending masters that, Jesus Christ almighty. I had to stop right there. That I have never introduced you to, that I've never personally worked with. And I can see right now that this book is going to make us, that is bringing them all together. Do I know all of them? No, but I do have most of them. Are you serious? God's army is coming upon us. I had a good handful of them. But I promise you, that's what I see is happening. As soon as I opened that book, he brought up one of the ascending masters. I'm looking for the guidebook. Hold on a second. And then I have to get the cards. I've had these cards for 2 years. We learned the stones, but we didn't pay attention to the rest of it. Same with the fucking light oracles. I've been reading those for 3 years. That's where it is the pattern becomes perfected. There's so much more each time you go into it. I have had these cards for 2 fucking years. 2 years. We went through them twice. Not fully, actually. That's probably why we're not so knowledgeable. The Archangels. This covers a whole array of Archangels that I haven't even covered in my Archangels. I mean, probably the same ones, but more depth. It's all about more depth. So at this moment, I'm like, I see it. I was like, he's gonna bring up another ascending master, and my mind went to remember all the ascending masters, and I'm like, are you bringing all of them in? And then I see them. Hold on a moment, bro. I've already been, you could say, plagued or blessed in the greatness of just these 6 non-stop. They're bringing in so many more with all kinds of spiritual knowledge, wisdom, and gifts from all the cultures of the world, from all the times of experience. I'm a little bit, my solar plexus is going off right now. And that's what I mean. You can study a spirit forever until this spirit comes into your life. And now it's real. And weird. And the whole point of what I was teaching you is we're going to fast for 40 days so that you can become as I did. But that's what I did at that time. It doesn't mean that that's the structure. And that's what everyone says about this fasting period. As I went to look up, and I'm walking around now I'm really full of energy. I can't sit down. As I was trying to find out, is anybody in history other than myself and the prophets do the traditional 40-day fast? I couldn't find any. I found all kinds of different religious fasts that are supplemented in different ways. And even myself, I have to supplement it because I'll die. These aren't the same times where our brains don't operate. Our skin isn't the same. We are filled with so much, even from the brain down. Think about it. In those times, they didn't even think of such things. They didn't think like we did. So they didn't burn the calories, the energy. They weren't a life force like we are now. Really? So going back to it, the 40-day fast it was unheard of when I did it 13 years ago. So going back to it, I started to look at that. Now, what I'm saying is the whole intention of what I was trying to explain to everyone is why? Why would you do this? Because through this, you get a baptism of the Holy Ghost. Now, I had said that, and I shared that in my community page, that myself, Elijah, Moses, and Jesus are the only ones. But then you go back to it, well, maybe that, in fact, is the only reason that I am so connected with God, because I've done what nobody else had the self-discipline and sacrifice to do, which was called of only specific ones that literally God gave them the strength to do it. But what I'm realizing, I'm only 2 days in, and I'm at the highest levels of God's kingdom with the Holy Ghost Almighty. It wasn't something I needed to do in my own life to sacrifice my skin. It was that I needed to lead you into this. I've done this. Let me show you how this is done. Let me redo this and walk you through the feelings, the thoughts, and the supplements and how you do this. But each moment I'm going higher and higher and higher to where it's like grounding in 40 where will I be if I keep doing this? Really? Yeah. Right now, you may not see it, but I do. My mental conscious is going to be flooded with the gates of heaven right now. They're preparing me for it through this book, who's going to speak of all the ascending masters. As I reread the powers of the ascending masters, they will come to me in visions. And by the time I read it, they've already given them to us. We'll just be perfecting it. So as the honor as it may be that we're entering, we've already been initiated. Or at least I am. And whoever my following is a chosen few that get to be to bear witness to the ascension, my ascension. They wrote books about Jesus's, works. And that, again, I have the rights to my own books, but they'll always write about this. I'm the first. But I'm the first because I'm here to lead. The prophecy is 144,000 like myself. That number made me feel unwell when I knew what population is at this day. But then as I read into the Palladians, they said that my population will repopulate their own armies of the same numbers. It'll multiply. So my 144,000 will become the leaders of the next world, and they will create hundreds of 44,000s upon themselves. That's how multiply in the magnitude of what the light is how that works. So it's a big thing, because even though I haven't consciously been aware of them, I became consciously aware of Elmora. And now he's about to start with one, and I closed the book immediately because I knew he was opening the gates to all of them, because they're already here. We're not in, if you notice, God is in between all of this, and we're in all religions and all parts of God. We have not stemmed away from Jesus, not one single bit in any of my teachings. Even when we were speaking of Lucifer and accessing Satan through those invocations, we never left Jesus. We brought God everywhere. God is in everything. As much as I sat down and I thought I was going to just start with Melchizedek, it just gets bigger, and it's not limited. I don't have an altar big enough for what God is. I don't have a room or a place big enough for you to show how far God goes. It's insufficient. I don't have a library big enough to teach. I don't have enough time, enough words to teach you everything that God brought to you through people. But I've got 55 years, so let's get through it. I'm going to use this as a guide to figure out what this next one is, and we're going to be learning them probably pretty slowly. Where did it jump? Right here. The first ray, and then it comes down here. This is why Master Dual Kuhal Kalthumi and Lord Maitreya are wonderful teachers in leadership. Right there, by second page, we got two more. If you jump down right here, it goes into the Virgin Mary. She is part of it. It just keeps going. Look, that's why I panicked. Do you see all of their names of the Ascending Masters? There you go. Now you see what I fucking panicked about. They're not just names in my world. The name becomes the spirit comes to life with the name. We speak the dead to life over here. Let's take it, these first two. We're not going any further. The first ray blended with Kual Kathimi. Okay, now this is what I got these for a long time ago. They have the Ascending Masters, the Archangels, and the Goddesses. At that time, I was teaching people. We were specifically focusing on the Goddesses. We started in the back. So then maybe we lost our momentum when we talked about the angels in the middle. But definitely by the beginning, we weren't too much paying attention to our shit. That's why they had me go backwards in this book, because we were going backwards. The book starts with Metatron, but that's where I ended in my journey. And that's what it is. You start with the dark goddess, bro, which is your feelings, and you end up with God. I see how this worked. We went through our dark feelings, and then that's how we entered into the angels and the archangels, which is exactly the tree of life. He's saying the first ray, that's as soon as you get in. Now we're going on to the second. These are the gatekeepers that got me through that I didn't see along the way. But I used to tell these journeys of what it would happen, what it felt like. These paradigm shifts that I do every weekend. Some of them are bigger than others. When you really leave a huge part of you and it kills you, it's like you're leaving a foreign land and there's a spirit. You know what I mean? They guided you out of this kingdom, and they're like, "Don't look back, don't look back." And they're trying to get you across this desert or this valley, and they shove you into this new kingdom, and you don't know where you are, and it's quiet, but little by little you start to learn the place and the people, and they become your family. No longer then the darkness has come back to get you, and they have to push you out and into the next place. That's how I described my ascension until I was in the light. I kept running from the old me that kept trying to pull me back, which were people, places, and things, the patterns. I had to keep moving because the old me was going to keep trying to get me. Everywhere I went, I kept patterning. If the longer I stayed there, the longer my mind would try to do the same thing, which was get a job, get a house. It was just desperate. It was desperate to get the things that created an identity, which was the place you live and the job you work. I was nothing without a job, but if I had a job, I could get a house and I could be something again. It was the reptilian mindset that I was trying to escape, but I wasn't. Everywhere I went, I was doing the same thing. And that's what I try to explain to you. You can't break you somewhere else. It helps. First off, you have to get out of what is you. And it's not, eventually you'll have to go back to it. And that's why I kept having to come back. I promise you, it's in the videos. It only happened last summer, right before I met Metatron, where I finally surrendered my pride. It was hurtful. God kept giving me jobs and hope that I could make something of myself. And I was determined this was my chance again, only for him to just tease me and show me this was never my way. And to quit thinking that way, that any job is going to get me a better life. So you go back to my earlier video, this is a lesson that the poverty mindset, the desperation mindset, that this is life. You're considered a lowlife if you don't have a job. As long as you have a job, you have respect from your mother, from community. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a job. We talked about that in the hustler's mentality. As long as you're bringing home money, nobody cares where it's coming from and what you're doing to get it, as long as you're bringing home the bread. And that's what we keep talking about. So I had to learn this. And I only learned it last summer. And that's what I realized is like, if I would have but I couldn't even see that it was a pattern until last summer. That everywhere I went, I was trying to get a job and a house. And that's the very thing he told me to give up. He told me to give up the job and the house. And then when I got back to Colorado, I had this plan to go back even to my last job, which was Lyft. He let me do it, only so it could be a complete failure. Really? Yeah. So as I see this, right now, I'm going back to these places, and now I can see the faces that got me through these levels. The spirits that were guiding me that I didn't have names. The energy that was around me that was helping me and teaching me when I didn't know what it was. Really? Yeah. So let's find out who this is. Again, they said who and what. I'll recognize it. Was it? Yeah, you can have one of my drinks. Not all of my drinks. Okay, what is this? Kuthimi. Go ahead. Only one. Okay, so we're looking for Kuthimi. Okay, these are archangels. Oh no, it starts with the archangels and it goes into the ascending masters. I'm looking for Kuthimi. Here he is. Okay, so Kuthimi is one, ascending master Kuthimi. To work with him, you would use Mas Agate. I have that back there. Really? And then what was the other one they said? Maitreya or something? Serapis Bay, Lamora, Nadia, Harian, Jesus, Magdalene, Yoganda, Kuthimi, Lao, Taozu, Kanyan, Matthew, Mary, Mother Mary, Buddha, Hilo, Merlin. Is it this one? Matahaya. Is this it? Let's look again. It is. No. Lord Matre. I don't know. Maybe I don't have a card for this one. That was pretty close. It looks really close. It says Ascending Master MTAJI. This one says MAITREY. What do you think? Totally different ones? We wouldn't know it if we didn't know their powers. Lord Maitreya are wonderful leaderships, though they each has slightly different focus in the way that their leadership manifests. Well, let's start with the one I do have, which is Ascending Master Kuthimi. Do I have a card to go with it? Yeah. Number 26. Which is crazy. Really? We're going to be in some next level shit. Well, at least I know where to put the cards. All right, so we went through Elmora, which was the beginning of the Ascending Masters. The next one comes with Lady Nada. And then Master Jesus and Rosaphilia. That means there's a feminine to that side. Helion, Ascending Master Mary Magdalene, and that's why I have the teachings of her. And she's talked about Melchizedek. That's why I brought that out. Melchizedek, she ascended as well. Really? Don't you want to ascend with us? Okay, Yoganda. No, that was not who I said. Kuthimi. Damn, that's a pretty one. Can you see the synchronicities? Just for shits and giggles, let me see if he has an angelic form. Well, if we're in the green ray, the heart chakra, and that's what I was talking about, and that's all love. And it's like I told you, where did this all come from? Over time, I had all the answers. I had none of the answers when this started. I went to Actriel, which is glory. Gabriel and your holy purpose, holy moly. Okay. I'm walking in it. I'm walking in my holy purpose, is what he said. Thank you. Okay. I'm like, what do you want from me now? He said, you're walking in your holy purpose. Thank you, Gabriel. I think I am. Michael with the courage. Well, that's not what I need right now, guys. Come on. Thank you for all your love. Here comes all the angels. I'm with the Ascending Masters, please. Thank you. All right. I need to get to the beginning of this book and check this one out. The one I keep telling you guys to get. It would be the green ray, because that's where Raphael is. Red, pink, green. Healing. Raphael and Azrael are up there. Just those two. Okay. Why? We're just seeing what we're, you know what I mean? The army that we're working with. Kuthimi has angels or deities, or just like we read about, Vishnu. There's a whole army behind him. He's just the leader. This is the guy in charge. I don't know what teachings and where this comes from. Really? We might find out. I don't know. What page is this again? I fucking lost the page. Look for number 26. Oh, I went to 25. That was pretty good. All right. Sacred ecosystem. Did you read that? I didn't read that. Holy moly. And that's what I talked about in my last video, was the annihilation of this world so we can build the new garden. We bring you the blessing of the sacred ecosystem. This is the gift of conscious connection, supportive relationship, and magnetism, which attracts you to the souls in need of your light. I just want to stop right there. God heard my calling. And it's true. They're not here in the flesh, but he brought them in spirit. I love you, God. I was having a bad day. I didn't say it, but I did. I was like, I wish there was somebody I could connect with. And there isn't. Not in the flesh, but he brought them in spirit. Ask and it shall be given. I was really, I wouldn't say lonely, but alone. I know better. I know there's nothing here like me. And that's what I said in the last video. And I wanted something like me to connect with. And he brought them. He brought more. He brought more of himself for me. He brought me friends. And they're not friends I don't know. They're souls that have been with me already since the beginning of this that I get to reconnect with. They now have a face in my story. I'll recognize them as I read through this. That they were with me during my darkest hours. That I wasn't alone ever. It's really beautiful. Only God knew that. Only God knew how bad I was struggling today. And I told it. I said, I know better than to look outside myself for something like me. I just felt with so much joy. Like I felt really special. He knew I didn't have any friends, so he brought me a whole army. And it was at that moment I realized that. I didn't know where they all came from and why they were all here. I called them. I needed them. And they were there so quickly. Let me just take a minute. Even Gabriel. That was pretty heavy right there. Actrial with the glory of God. I went to the book and I got Gabriel in my holy purpose, Actrial in the glory of God, which is the warrior, and Michael with the courage. He gave me such an enormous calling, and just like the other prophets, it's like we would cry to, you know what I mean? Like, fuck God, I'm all alone in this. All eyes on me. You're never alone. My whole army is here with you. We're all here with you in spirit. This will be done. You guys are gonna waste a lot of your life trying to find people like you. Let God bring them to you. Stop trying to be like them. That's why I have such a powerful position in the divine, because I was never like man. And I was always sat in the tree of life with all of, all of God's creations. I'm restored in my place. It just feels good to have that place here on earth, for it to be restored here on earth. Really? Yeah. I mean, they're preparing me, of course, look, right? To be their planetary leader. And then many have come before and have been tasked with this same, you know what I mean, calling. And those very people, those very souls are here with me as I walk through my calling. But what I'm called to do has only been called by the ascending masters like myself. And again, like on a day like today, I guess you could say my flesh is going weak. In the second day, my flesh was already weak, and I longed for companionship during this hard journey, and he sent me all of them. I can start here, but I can read about every single one of them every time I get sad, and I can see that they have been with me and they're going to help me through this, and this is what we're doing. It's a good feeling. You know what I mean? You don't have to fear. Like when I can see when I go into the studio for the first time in years, I'm not going in alone. They're going to be right there telling me what to say, when to speak, when not to speak, what to say. They're going to be coaching me through every bit of my life. And that's what it means to go back to the Garden of Eden and be taken care of by God in the universe. It's a beautiful thing to be under his covering. And they're never fleeting. No, not physical, bro. Pac's not physically here. but his spirit never fucking leaves me, nor Jesus. And now I have a whole bunch of new ones you know what I mean? New friends, old friends from the lives that we had before this. I get to remember and revisit and relive and reawaken our connections here in this world in this time. It's pretty amazing. You know, I try to explain to you my connection with Jesus, how close me and Buddha are, you know, all my connections with them. Maybe that's him. Hold on. Maybe that's him. There's a guy in my cards, my Hindu cards, that I have a close connection with, and I'm not sure why. I told you when I first pulled out one of them, I love Shiva, but when I pulled this one, I was like, guys, I have a bad connection with this guy. We have past life karma. It's not a good to feel. Really? Yeah, it was the Lord of Death. But there's one guy in here that I have a good, as soon as he came, my heart filled with joy, and I felt like he was my best friend, and I've known him. There he is. Who is he? I don't know from this life. Oh, there he is. The Perceptor of Gods. Really? Is that who they talked about? Nope. I don't know him from this life, but as soon as I saw his picture, I felt my heart warm up, and I was like, dude, it's you. It's us. We're friends. Really? Mm-hmm. Who is he? I don't know. I bow to Bahaspati, god of the planet Jupiter. Oh, yeah, that's why. Really? Yes. What's today? Jupiter, Thursday. Ruled by Saturn. Ruler of Sagittarius and Pisces. Today, Saturn and I shared it all. The crescent moon, which is the high priestess moon, is up in the sky. Go take a look. And right now, Saturn and Neptune are closest to it in the sign of Pisces. That's a language of the gods that you don't understand. They're called light codes, but I tried to break that down completely. I can't really. If I could just write a quick post of the day, what's today looking like? Oh, there it is. And they do, but nobody knows that but me and all the layers. All right, so Jupiter's here. He is the spiritual master of all the demigods and the sages. See? He teaches us all. Really? He's like the guy that trained Achilles and all the other demigods, but of the spiritual warriors. That one, I can't remember his name, Phil. He trained the warriors of the physical. They trained the spiritual. Do you see? I was like, maybe it's him. They said, bring him into the conversation. Of course, he can't go on without him. And that's what I mean. They're there teaching us, but we don't even know who our teachers were because we didn't have the eyes to see. Our heart could see them now. Why? Because we can connect the dots. Like Steve Jobs said, we can look back and see the picture. You don't know the picture until you jump to the next spot. Really? Yeah. His complexion is golden, and he is full of intelligence, and he is the controlling lord of all three worlds. Power and prestige in society, worldly knowledge, especially of the law, capacity to act as teacher and spiritual master. Thank you much. Ability to carry out advisory and ministerial duties. See, I can't, it's not just Jesus. It's the whole army of God. Why? Because I'm doing God's work. But who am I? The goddess of hell. Where are we? Hell on earth. What am I doing? Trying to get people out of their own personal hells and back to God? Using their own leaders to guide them in one religion towards God? I said I was going to do this in the beginning when I was mentally ill and I was chasing a music career.
I can hear this one night.
Nobody believed me. I didn't believe the vision upon my life when it was given to me on that mountain. I said that I was going to take Wolfman to go there to get his vision. It was impossible. It was just I guess at that moment, I would have thought that I took too much mushrooms. It was just an illusion. But here I am. I'm literally teaching them everything far beyond the understanding and capacity of anything I ever thought I could be. I thought, you know what I mean? I was reading books on how to become a pagan priestess. I am that. I always was. I wasn't training. I was reawakening what I am and what I came to do. And that's what you guys should kind of pay attention to. Stop trying to learn a new skill and start working with the skills that God gave you, because that's what he made you for. It might not look like, again, what I do, nobody else can do, and you can't put a price on it. But at the same time, I work for God, so there's no money in it. All that money, which is the billions of dollars that I'll make, you know what I mean, with the production of all of these teachings, goes back into God's kingdom, this crazy vision of this this community that I'm going to build. It's going to cost money. How do I do it? I pay for it off of my own pain and suffering. But not just that, my healing. Jesus paid the price. To be honest, is what it says around here. So I don't put much value in your guys' money because I don't get paid for it. But what I do is priceless. I couldn't even put a price on it, and that's why people ask me how much for reading, how much for the truth. You can't handle the truth. You're not going to pay me for the truth. I'll give it to you for free because you've been denied it your whole life. But I assure you, it's not something you're going to want. People want the truth, but they deny it inside of them every day. Really? Yeah. I'm really excited you came and joined us. It's not like we didn't have enough Holy Spirits. But again, I was feeling overwhelmed until I realized they weren't here to suffocate me with teachings. They were here to help me. They're not here to push me like before. They're here to, support me. And that's where you realize God's not doing things to you. He's doing things for you. But when they came in, I was like, holy moly, what is all this? Now that I know what's happening, I'm going to take it nice and slow. Why? Because I want to take the time to really get to know my spirit guides. I want you to take the time to really share with you what each of these ascending masters have done with me during my journey. Because I know that if I take the time, I will see it. They'll bring me back to where I was in life, where they were there with me, walking with me. The spirit guides do that. The archangels do that. So I assure you that's what the ascending masters are going to do. And just like that, Gabriel popped up and I was like, what is it, Gabriel? He said, you're walking in your purpose. He said, I'm walking in my purpose. They say I'm walking in my purpose. I was made to do this, but I didn't start like this. But if you look back, I've always been spreading the word of God. I've always been a light of God. I've always been creativity. I've always been positivity. I've always been the chaos. I've always been love. I've always been what I've been, just less of what I was been because, okay, good. Because I was trying to, filter it to people's likings. I never was not this. I became more of what I was. I stopped pretending to be something else and just started being what I am. Really? Mm-hmm. If you look back, I guess I was always a teacher. I was always educating people. I was always giving them knowledge and wisdom, resources. Always, you know what I mean? A shoulder to cry on. Always a good person in conflict. Always a person that would extend themselves. I was always this person. My heart was hardened and it was turned off, but I was still always what God made me. Really? Mm-hmm. It's really flattering. I don't even know how we're gonna get through all this now. I've got all over the place. God has just exploded all over the place in my life. Really? It's an explosion of God. They call this the Big Bang, That's just what happened. I just saw it. And I felt with so much joy. I'm telling you guys, nothing makes you fall to your knees and feel so special than God's love. when you realize what he's just done for you. I just could cry right now so much. It makes you so weak. It makes you feel good in your skin to look at everyone and look what I've done. But, bro, the joy of what God has done for you is so weakening, and you feel so fucking special. It's like nobody else matters. Like you are so special to him. That's what Lucifer had. And he gave that up to be praised by man. Adam and Eve could have been taken care of the way that I am if they would have just put down their pride and, asked for forgiveness and followed God's guidance once again. It wasn't one sin to rule them all. It was one sin of shame that wouldn't let him come back. And that's why Jesus brought forgiveness. God forgives you. You can come home now. He knows what you've done. Just ask for forgiveness and promise to be better and listen to him this time. It's really simplistic. Jesus' message is so simplistic. And it was that. And that's the message I try to bring to people. God knows what you've done. He still loves you. And he just wants you to, you know what I mean? Repent, which is, change your filthy ways. Go make amends. Go try to fix some of this dirty life. And don't, you know what I mean? Don't persecute people, but try to help people through that life. Become an advocate for the same thing that you were a victim to, so others don't fall victim to it. Really? That's all he wants. He wants us to be Jesus. You're asking a lot here, God. Can't be Jesus. Nah, respectively. Don't be Jesus, be you, but do the great works of Jesus, is what that was. And I used to cry at him. I can't be Jesus, dude. I can't be like him. I don't have it in me. Jesus had kindness. He had compassion. He had understanding. He had forgiveness. He had faithfulness. He had belief. He had joy. He had certainty. But all of that came with training. And you have to watch his stories. And that's what I shared about the fasting. He didn't even start his ministry until after he showed that he could outdo his temptations, which was 40 days of fasting in the forest. And I didn't even realize that the same thing had happened to Noah. They were on the boat for 40 days. There's no food in, you're not drinking that water. And you can't eat the animals. I didn't think about that at all. And they didn't know if, you know what I mean? Is God going to bring us, what's going to be left after all of this? What's outside of there? And that was the same thing for me. You know what I mean? I went on these crazy journeys. I came back to the same world. Denver was the fucking same. I felt like I had been gone for universes. Like I had never, it was so weird. I'd only been gone like fucking 5 weeks. Really? Same fucking 40 days, maybe. I don't know how long I was gone before I came back to Colorado. It felt like forever. For real, I spent a couple weeks in Oklahoma. And then I went up to Wisconsin, and I spent a couple weeks up there. I came back to Colorado briefly, just drove through. I did a ceremony, and I slept one night at Red Rocks, and I was gone. And then I went out and I spent a couple weeks in the Bay. After that, when I came home, Colorado wasn't the same. Nothing was the same. Nothing was the same. And that's because I wasn't. And it was so hard to find my grounding again. The world was the same, but I wasn't. And I didn't know how to fit in it anymore. I wasn't the same person. And that's what happens to me all the time. The world is just the same. I just don't feel the same in it anymore. I don't look at it the same. Really? It's like a moving roller coaster. It's like a moving train that I just got to jump on. Really? It's just weird. Something like that. The ascension is what I'm hearing. That's all I'm hearing. It's like it's the ascension. And I tried to explain that. It's like they strap you in a car seat in the back of a car, and all you can see is, the images going by real fast and lots of music being played. And you just keep wondering, are we there yet? And, even then it's like, when does this journey end? And then they're like, this is a marathon. The adventure called life doesn't end. Once you start the adventure, it becomes an adventure. And even though I don't do much, the adventure happens within. I don't have to go outside. Outside is overstimulating or, unsatisfying if you'd like. The adventure happens within. Really? Mm-hmm. And you tap into your own creativity, and you find a way to stop selling stop selling this image of what you are and start really selling what you have to offer. Now again, I'm a nonprofit organization, but people see me as a huge profit, which I am. I'm a walking prophet, but they see it for profit in their pocket like a bunch of Judas. And they want to take the teachings and they want to coin them, but they can't support them. It's just another book. And I show you all these books that were written by people before me, but they couldn't capture it like I did, which was on camera. I caught an alien. I caught the Holy Spirit. I caught God. I caught everything on camera. Really? I did. I continue to capture it all the time. I'm the witness. I have documented proof of it. You guys are writing stories about me. Russ has been writing music about me since the beginning. All of them have. They've been writing stories about me, which is what? The New Age prophet, the witness from the Revelation days. They told you weren't listening. They told you all this. You weren't listening. I walk in it. I show you it, that it's real. That the unseen is very real. Really? Yeah. Isn't this really cool? Get excited. All right. I don't know there's so much on my desk right now. Let's at least go through one at a time. We'll go through the ecosystem if we can make it. I don't think I can. I feel overwhelmed. I feel like my chakra system just blew up and I just had a shutdown. It was an abundance of love and light. All of a sudden I wasn't alone inside of my body and I wasn't alone on this planet. I was filled with so many spirit guides that it was crowded inside of my body and so much love outside. Really? Yeah, I feel a little overwhelmed. I'm a little taken by the Holy Ghost right now. Does it have a name? Well, there was two of them that came in, but you can see that I'm filled with the Holy Ghosts of God. I heard the Holy Ghosts of the past. I don't think so. How could they be the past when they're present and they'll be in our future? They're guiding us into the future. In essence, they were the future. And that's what I try to explain myself. And that's the goddess of the moon. Really? Past, present, and future. Life, death, and rebirth. Maiden, mother, and crone. The cycles of life. Really? Yeah. I'm blown away. My mind just got blown. I just had an ego death. My mind took on too much information at once. Is this what happens to you guys and you have to change the channel? I feel like this just happened to me and I have to shut everything down. Seriously? I can pick it back up, but I can't keep going where I am right now. I really just got flushed with too much too fast. They all came in. I knew right away. And even more than I have cards to show. I don't have pictures. I don't have all the studies of all of them that have been walking with me through this. But I know now they're here. They're in my emotional world, and they're also hanging over my 5D. They're right there. As soon as I open my eyes, I swear to you, they're all going to be there now. Once you see them, you can't unsee them. Once you see the spirit, it's never unseen. And then you realize that they never left you and they're never leaving. Really? That's why your spirit guides keep it minimal for you. But ultimately, Hawk is just sitting somewhere while I'm being drugged through school, while I'm going through the hard knocks of life. He's there, kicking back. It's like, they're drugging your flesh through the bullshit. I'm here with you, Shorty. Shorty, keep your head up. Don't be a bitch. Realistically, it comes down from the higher ups. He has to support me through whatever they're dragging me through. And whatever they're dragging me through is what they're taking, That's what I said. It's ordained. Are they passing me on? No. That's what I realized as Metatron's sitting in the wrong place. Melchizedek was supposedly the highest, but Metatron took me the furthest. That's what I tried to understand. And again, that was Enoch in the flesh. And I don't know the book of Enoch, but I know he gave the prophetic gifts. It was given to him. So therefore, given by what? His higher self? I'm not sure the book. I guess I'm going to have to start with that. The book of Enoch. No, that's very long. They all got me to him, and he made it all make sense. In the beginning of my awakening, I can show you in this documentary, I saw Metatron's cube on a post one day, and I posted it, and I tagged my twin flames, and I said, I don't know what this is, but I know it's the answer to everything I'm looking for. I've been trying to put this all together since the beginning, trying to make understanding of what I was doing and what was happening in and around me. And that's what I documented. People go through awakenings and they abandon the whole thing. And that's what I said. You got to keep pushing. Otherwise, your old self will pull you back into your lower self and you'll end up like Kanye West. I didn't know what it was, but I knew. And so when I got to him, he put all the pieces together. He's considered the all-father of the universe. As I got his cards right here. No, I don't. I've got so much on my... That's why I'm like, I am a little overwhelmed right now. And I went to Actriel again. Actriel is a type of super angel who is one of the angels of the presence or the angels of the face and the group of the ultra important angels who work very closely with God, the creator. Actriel is particularly vital as he is shown as the voice of God or the presence of God and sits at the throne of glory. Where does Jesus sit? He's right up there at the highest throne where they sat too. I just didn't bring him down here. Do you understand the layers of time and being that I have? They're all from different times, but all in the same dimension of existence, which is the highest levels of light. As we repeat time and go through time, they're there as our guides. So far, because I'm the dark goddess, I can teach you the dark goddess times. But now we're going to teach God's times, is what I'm seeing. We're teaching the different times. Really, you've got to learn, if not for this generation, it's for the people that are watching my videos in the future. They won't have access to all this. They won't have access to all this. All this will be gone. They'll have these videos. And that's where I have to make sure to give them the access that I have. Metatron made it all sense. Now, as I said this, again, the highest level of the Archangels has come through. That's where this is coming through. It is for this reason that unlike most other angels who can sometimes be more subtle energy, when you invoke his presence, it's much easier to distinguish his firm guidance than that of your own thoughts. As such a powerful being, when Actriel comes in, it seems as though the actual voice of God speaking directly to you. You are certainly unlikely to question this experience. As the angel of justice, authority, and direction, and that's what happened. Did I hear it? No, I saw it. And then I saw Gabriel, who is the voice of God to me. And what did Gabriel say? You're walking in your purpose. He usually calls you to your purpose. Actriel and who came after? I saw Actriel, I saw Gabriel, and I saw Michael, which is glory, purpose, and courage. Actriel can help you see your own greatness. He can also bring the gifts of self-sufficiency, which we're learning with Baba Yaga, and the capacity to enable you to stand on your own 2 feet and trust your own judgment, to trust thyself. Know thyself is what I spoke of earlier. Trust your judgment. I know you wanted me to give you the answers, and I can, but I won't. I want you to go to yourself, to your God. Trust yourself. You're powerless to me if I do this. A true leader is going to make you powerful. not keep the power to themselves. It's the power to the people. In my earlier videos, they wanted me to know. I was hinting. They know that I know. I didn't want to blast them on the internet. They know what I knew, and I know what they knew. And I didn't want them, though. I wanted them to trust their own knowing and to go to God, not me or not another tarot reader ever again. Really? And then there's some things I don't know. But I had to show you how the mind and all of that. Realistically, I don't want you to think somebody is your connection to God. I'm not your connection. The whole point of what I'm doing here is to teach you how to get connected. I am a messenger of God, but there are many. I'm not his voice, that's for sure. He speaks in better words. The way that I interpret him is not how he is interpreted to other minds. All right, and this is, I'm about to be set out onto my, into my own new house. I'm going back into the world by myself now. I've enjoyed staying here because for the first time in my life, I had some support and I had some foundation, but now I'm going to go out there. And the point is, I'm not going out there alone. He can also bring you gifts of self-sufficiency and the capability to enable you to stand on your own 2 feet and trust your own judgment, especially when times of hardship or where your intuition may be challenged. He reminds us not to compare ourselves to the success of others. Just because I don't have what you have doesn't mean I am not the most successful being right now. Your success is based on what? Money? Money can't buy what I have. People have done this their whole life and never achieved what I've achieved. There's no money that can buy this. But to look within the depths of our own soul in order to see our true, in order to see our true why does it write it like that? Our true magnificence and glory. With Actriel's assistance, as you sit in silence, you look within for the answers you seek. You will feel as though you are sitting upon the throne of glory as the true master of your own destiny. That's why I told you. I can't tell you something. I can't lie to you. And that's where it is. He lives within you. You have to understand the layers of your heart that is speaking to you and the difference between your heart and your mind, and that your mind is not all wicked. It's just scared and confused. It's just a child. But you have the Spirit of God and all of the other Holy Spirits within. You're able to access them more and more as you take these brave steps into their realms. When you step out of your comfort zone, you're now in a place where you need comforting, and they are there to comfort you. But realistically, you've got it. When you stay at home and you're in control and you got everything and you don't need no help, then there's no help to be had. There's no spiritual connection to be had. And that was Adam and Eve. They purposely left God. All they had was God. They took they got a little bit of wisdom, and they thought they could create the world without a new world without God. And he let them. They never, ever said, God, this world sucks. Can I come back home? And that's exactly what happened with the fallen angels. They wanted to live a different world outside of what God created them, so they went to the new world where they could create. Never did they say, all right, God, this sucks. Can I come back home? I'm here to take you back home. To admit, this sucks. I'm tired of taking care of myself. I suck at life. These fucking people don't like me. I can't find my place. I don't know what I'm doing. I need you, God. Come back home. Leave all your shit at home. Don't bring your friends. Don't bring those clothes. Don't bring any of that. Come back home. You're not coming in like that. You keep trying to get back home, bringing in your old ways. No, leave that life. You want to come back home, you're going to live under my rules. Really, it's a relationship, to say the least. But it's all in love. Put the pride down and go back home. And some of you, fuck. Why did I ever leave my mom's house? Yeah, let me go fucking start at 16 years old. Let me go buy let's go get my first house. Let's fill it with electronics and let me figure out how to run fucking gas. Let me figure out how hot water works. Let me wash clothes from fucking by hand. Let me figure out life. 17, 18, 19. Let me figure this all out. I got it, God. I can do this. That's what we do, right? Until when? Until we don't and we cry. I'm seeing what happened to me at the hotel. Man, I kept trying. Finally, I was crying to God. God, I'm tired. I don't want to do this no more. I'm tired, God. I need some help. He said, then stop and go ask Mr. Plum for some help. Oh, no, God, I can't ask Mr. Plum. I'm going to look so shameful after all this time and I haven't figured out my life. I can't do that, God. He said he'll give you rest. It'll be okay. So I call Mr. Plum right after and I'm crying. Mr. Plum, I'm struggling. I'm so tired and I can't figure it out. Please, can you give me another chance to stay at your house? This time will be different. I plan to get a job this time. And I'll get a housing this time. His only stipulation was that I didn't do any witchy shit. And I didn't. I didn't. Outside of the house. I didn't do anything outside of my room. And I went down there. And as soon as I got down there, within 3 days, he took me to the housing and they said there was no waiting list and I could get on housing immediately. And in a couple more days, I had a job at Walmart. He didn't regret it. It was worth it. And I just needed to surrender that what I was doing wasn't working. And as soon as I gave it up, he gave me somewhere where it could work. But that wasn't going to work. That was only to give me rest. Because then that came crashing too. And I had to beg to him, God, I don't know what to do. I need your help. Get me out of here. It took him a while, and all he gave me was an idea to go camping in the woods. But it was a great idea. And I went with that. When you're ready, and that's what happened. I gave up on trying to chase a guy. I remember that, crying in the shower. Every time I try, guy, I fuck this up. I don't know. Just give me the right guy. I don't want to try anymore. Every time I try, I fuck this up, God. When you're tired of trying and you've tried everything, then try God, is what happens. But unfortunately, you won't give in so easily. Nobody ever does. They're like, no, I'll figure this out. No, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out until you can't. There's no fucking way you can get yourself out of this. But the very second you turn to him, aha, he gives you an idea. Or he sends you to someone. But it's always an idea. You never thought about it until you asked him, until he gave you the spark of genius. You just have to walk in it. And it might be against your pride, but it is your answer. You have to humble yourself. Humble yourself and you shall receive. Really? Yeah. That's what actually I was talking about. There was, you know what I mean? Like, and then for someone like Wolfman to come and make fun of what I've done. It's like, bro, you're saying my biggest fears here is like everybody has persecuted me for this. Everybody has made fun of what I've done. Don't you see what I've done? Yeah, I did. I gave up my nice, comfy life, my whole identity, everything I owned that I worked so hard to get, to live in scraps, to be on the top of a mountain and praise God. But I promise you, nothing gives me more joy. None of that shit made me feel like God just did right now when he brought those spirits to my side. I don't regret it. I sometimes miss my clothes, my jewelry, my bed, sometimes. But he's shown me he's got a new bed for me to lay in. And I actually got to pick up my own bedding, and it's really cool. Really? Yeah, it's mystical. You'll miss your old life until you're ready for the new one. But don't you want a new one? You can't create a new one without God, guys. You got to let him give it to you. Or you can keep going out there trying to chase your life, trying to make a life for yourself. I see that, and not just Adam and Eve, but Lilith. It's like none of them wanted to listen. None of God's kids. Do you see this? You see these fucking kids? Realistically, Adam and Eve took off only days after me. He made this brand new world and we took off. Same with the fucking angels. He took off, just ran away from home. Everybody just ran away from home. Really? I'm trying to get us all back. Really? If I can surrender, so can you. I am the little energy of rebellion. This time we're still using it. We need it more than ever. But we need to rebel against this world. Not God's world, but this world. Before, we were rebelling against God's world and his rules. We didn't want to do what God said. We wanted to do it our way. Our way didn't work. And now we're caught up in rules of other people. We need to break from their rules and go back to God, where we're safe, where we're provided for, where we're protected, where we're loved, where we're not alone, where we're understood, where we're safe to even be naked and not be persecuted for what our bodies look like. We can be what God made us there, but not here. But yet, we're going to create that place here in time. It starts internally, and then we can create it externally. And there's so many of us that have already got to certain places of that acceptance and surrender. Not everyone's a leader, but they're ready to go to that next place. I don't know if any of you are going to be leaders with me, but that's my job, is to take them to that place, show them how to get there. I can only show you how I got there, but that's what the magic is once I get you there, all of God's army has got you, like they had me. I just got to get you through this one part, but it's the hardest part, which is what? Your thoughts and your feelings. I help you in the spiritual, the spiritual side of the psychoanalyst. We break through that. All I got to do is break you through. It's so dirty. The cervix. We've got to just break the skin of the cervix, and then you're free. They'll catch you on the other side. They will, you know what I mean? All I got to do. And that's it. You won't need me after this. All you need me for is to break through your feelings and your thoughts. Once you break through that, Jesus, your spirit guides, everything will come to you immediately. You'll see them. They'll be right there. They're right on the other side of your thoughts and your feelings. That's all I really can do. And that's all I'm in charge of. That's the only charge God gave me. The only rule I have is to rule over the moon, which is the intuition, the subconscious. And that's what I teach you here. But all the rest of it, the willpower, was taught to me by them. Forgiveness was taught by them. All of that. And that's where we work together as an army of God. I have my part. I play a huge part in this. I play a huge part, but I can't do this alone. I can only show you one part to the puzzle. The bigger picture is all of us together. Really? That's what I just showed you. And that's this planetary leadership, and we're only on page 2. Right away, he starts with them. He goes into the Virgin Mary. She's in here. I told you that, as well as Mary Magdalene. And then it goes down to Uganda, Kaul, Elmora. I'm just picking out the names that I see here. Buddha. It just keeps going on and on and on for the spiritual educators of the world. The ideal leader has the might, what might call tough love. Really? He or she is tough as nails in the focus and discipline, but loving and harmless as Virgin Mary. And that's what it is. The dark goddess is all loving, but she's tough as nails. That's how you knew me. Kalima. Or Ma Kali, depending on how you said it, which culture. I was nothing but love, but dangerous. And that's what the dark goddess is. They call on the dark goddess. You call on Lilith for a specific works because she loves you and she will avenge you and, all this stuff. And it's all out of love. The goddess is nothing but love, right? Tough love. And that's what I am. What is truth? Truth is love. It's God's love. The truth shall set you free. His love shall set you free. Little by little, he opens your eyes to the truth of what is real and what is no longer real, which is he loves you enough to wake you up and not let you continue to suffer in a false reality. It's almost painful though, because the rebirth it's painful. The truth hurts. Everything you believed, everything you thought was real is not. It was almost a kindness to live in the fairy tale, but it's not, because you're ignorant and you're unprepared and you're walking yourself literally into destruction without, knowing what truth is. And so he chose for you to have his truth, which is basically the power that he gave to his highest avenging angel, which is Michael. He's giving you the highest power, which is truth. If he gives you the truth, he expects you to walk in it. Next thing is he expects you to exert it and to teach it. Martin Luther King Jr. and Jesse Jackson and Malcolm X and many more before them. Even, geez, I love that. They all sit at the table with who? Abraham Lincoln. Call it crazy, bro. He was one of very few of the nation's people that had a vision of equality, that just thought this was wrong. Everybody has said this isn't wrong. There's no wrong in this. This has been the way it's been since the beginning. This is the way it is. Slavery has been around since the motherfucking Egyptians. These motherfuckers ain't shit. We have owned these motherfuckers. We're gonna own these motherfuckers. These is just motherfuckers. They ain't shit. Something about this don't feel right. He was one of the very first that knew what truth was. The truth was this wasn't right. And he was willing to put everything on the line for it. And everyone that stood up for the truth died. You must understand that. They want you to live in the lie. So, Abraham Lincoln, all he did was try to push equality, like myself. He was demonized, persecuted, and killed. Okay, let's keep going through all the rest of them. JFK, same thing. Demonized, persecuted, killed. Martin Luther King, demonized, persecuted, killed. Anyone that has ever stood in this position that brings the people together and doesn't keep them in line is demonized, persecuted, killed. But that's the same vision that was given to fucking Moses. He saw no wrong in this until one day God said it's wrong and you must stop this. You're asking me to go against everything I stand for. Yup, for what is right. He couldn't make Pharaoh understand that this was wrong because Pharaoh didn't see the wrong in the doing. You cannot make a person apologize for some shit they don't know they did was wrong. Call them a narcissist. They see no wrong in their doing because they're devout from the actual emotion that this causes. Why? Because they're emotionally cut off from anyone that ever did something like this to them. A victimized person that doesn't heal it either continues to be victimized the rest of their life, or they become a persecutor of the same fucking crime because it's normalized. If you don't normalize it to continue the behavior, then you normalize it to execute the behavior. Really? Yeah. Moses was one of the first of them to stand in equality. And it continued to happen. Anybody that ever stood up for the unjust, and we see this now, people are getting shot in our streets trying to stand up to ICE for strangers. You can't treat them like that. You can't treat that person like that. Leave them alone. They're people. Have respect. They'll kill you for that. And they always have. Why? Truly, the value of life, they see theirs more valuable than yours. And that's the division. Do you find yourself to be more than your neighbor? Then you're already got a lot of work to do. How can you be different from your neighbor when both of you live in the same building, which means by statistically speaking, you are the same. You pay the same amount of rent, which means you must have the same, income bracket, and therefore you have the same behaviors. According to data and statistics, you are your neighbor, regardless to where your culture, your skin, or anything. And that's what it is. You're just data. You're collective. You're a collection of energy, according to it. Now, they like to say that people that live in this building are medium class type people in accordance to the people that live in here. These must be high class people. In order to make this type of money, or to live at this level, right? You must be a higher class of person. That doesn't mean shit. That just means you make that kind of money. High class just means higher money. It has nothing to do with the class of person. These are low class people with high money. What is class? Is it money, or is it a person? Meaning, here we go. Do you consider Kim Kardashian to be a classy broad, or just a billionaire bitch? Would you consider any of those women to be classy? Shut up, Lewis Hamilton. Yes, we're talking about the piece of meat that you're flapping on right now. That's Kanye's leftover meat that you're touching and licking up on. And that's after Pete Davidson and his 12-inch dick demolished that thing. Give a shit about that unclassy bitch. This is not a classy woman. Now, was Marilyn Monroe classy? That's the difference. Do you consider Lewis Hamilton classy, or just because he's flossy? Is he a classy person? Russ, and he's shared it, is the second most successful independent artist of whatever time. Meaning he's valuable. This guy's got money. But is he classy? What kind of class of person is this? He's rich. He's successful. But what kind of class of person? Now that's where I categorize this. Anybody that associates with Russ is a low-class person to me. Anybody that associates with Kim Kardashian is a low-class person to me. I don't say the same about Marshall. I don't say the same about others, but there are some. You realize this is a certain class of people that they attract. Do you find this attractive? Do you want to be part of this group of people? Is the group of people that you're attracted to based on nothing more than the shine, the glitz and glamour of the outside? Russ has nice things, but is Russ a nice person? That's what I mean. Does Russ care about anybody but Russ? Does Kim Kardashian care about anybody but Kim? And I told that to Lewis as soon as this started to melt. I said, Lewis, it's not that she's a terrible girl, but you are not more important than she is. She will not treat you like royalty. It is your job to treat her like royalty. This is not good. Call me biased, but I believe that my twin flame deserves a good, loving woman by his side that will honor everything he is and not what he does. She doesn't honor anything. Your Honor, please. Realistically, that goes back to Russ. Is he a good person? Is Kim Kardashian a good person? Yeah, but their appetite is bigger than than their outfits. Their desires for control of this world is bigger than the spirit that lies within them. Their greed is bigger than their kindness. How about that? Bottom line, things mean more to people like this than people. They don't value people. They value things, and they only value people that can bring them more things. But nothing is enough for these people. So I don't think that's high class. I think that's very low class. But according to demographics, this is, high class. Okay. Realistically, yeah. I'm going to jump out of this on page 111. This is the message from Actriel. Who is Actriel? I believe he's part of the Golden Ray. Let me see. Kerbiel, which is the cherubim of illumination. Judiel, which is leadership and endeavor. And Metatron. I told you. They're all part of the Golden Ray. The stellar gateway. It's a chakra point above your head. It's above the crown. Access to the source. Through there you can go straight to God. Understanding our infinite nature, limitlessness, divine insight, enlightenment, and the Christ light. To work with this, you need gold, techite, pyrite, citrine, gold topaz, and healer's gold. To work with this energy, you need frankincense. This is beyond Orion's belt or the three kings. And these are all of them, all of the angels you work with in the golden ray. So even though I work with Metatron, all of them are here. And that's what I was trying to explain when I got into this. I was like, hold on, because they have, who is he? Kuthimi has its own teachings, its own devotees, its own angels, or whatever you call them. Really? Arjuna got the teachings of Krishna, who got the teachings from Vishnu. Right? And somehow Buddha was in all of that. Realistically, that's what I'm trying to say. Really? So there's just Jesus. As I said this, I'm in the Christ light, so everything of the light is here with me. I'm feeling really hungry with all this. It's not really, it's just that part of the stomach goes off, which is the solar plexus. I feel like I'll disintegrate if I keep this up. What, my stomach? No, my conscious. I'm in such higher levels of dimensions that it's beyond human comprehension. That's that divine insight. Told you that too. I told this to Wolfman, and they gave him an opportunity through me. Wolfman's never been in love. That's all right. Neither was none of the rest of us. I was married twice and wasn't. He was never in love. So it happens. And that's what I told him. This is how it happens. If you give into this, this is how it happens. He can try to falsely fall in love and create the power of love, but you can't access any of this without love. I told you how this happened for me, my twin flames. Why didn't it happen for them? Because they didn't give into the love, idiot. That's why I told you. Can you do it? Can you do what nobody else before you could do? What I struggle to do every time over here, including you? Underneath my pride, underneath all of that, and that's what this attraction is, there is an uncontrollable love for each other that neither of us recognize because our mind and circumstances are in the way. The more we spend clearing out our perception or our impressions or our judgment on each other and just start coming to, which was having compassion, understanding, kindness, and forgiveness for one another. The more of that we work towards each other, the more powerful we become. In love? No, towards love, but love because it takes love to do this. You don't do this for just anyone. Really? That's where this all starts. It says in the books that it is the twin flame the twin flames that start this, the sacred union of love across the globe, where the divine masculine and the divine feminine energy come into existence and the child is born, which is the new earth, right? It happens within yourself though. In order for me to come in alignment with a man, that's what I was trying to explain. Is you're not, he's never going to get a loving being unless he becomes the loving being that he's seeking. But he was never seeking a loving being. He was seeking something like himself, something like himself, which was independence, like, I guess, like me and Bobby, just a friend with benefits, a companion, someone to share the time with, not to get in the way, but someone to give me, to share my love with, a dinner, a conversation, the bed. Not fully a lifetime, but something to that extent. No full commitments, just fun. Knight of Wands energy. I relate to that. Indeed, wasn't looking for love, but by looking for God, you were. And by going to the goddess, you were going to find love. He was looking for power and spirituality. The only power and spirituality is through love. He's got to have learned that by now. You can do plenty of magical works in anger and desperation, in hatred. But that's why I win. And he may have tried it himself to try to send magic upon my way. And that's what I told Wolfman the weekend I met him. Or I told Royce, do you know why my magic always wins? Because I channel it from God and it's straight love, and love is the strongest fucking energy that ever existed. He'll give it to you towards another person. Let's see what you can do with it. If you can harness this love towards another person in a healthy way, then he'll give you more love. The more love you give, the more power comes with it. Really? Mm-hmm. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. Really? In the name of love, you'll do all things. You'll go to all limits. He doesn't want you to be that lovesick because you'll end up like me, just mentally ill. Realistically, it's too much love. It's too much love for another human being. I'm losing myself in this. Realistically, yeah. And that's why people don't want to give in to love. Why? Because you're out of control. And you know it right away. Right away, you realize that you are not yourself. And why am I thinking like this? Why am I even feeling like this? Why am I doing this? You see yourself doing too much. Like, why am I trying so hard? Like, what am I doing? Yep. Uncontrollable force. I don't play around in the love department because that's God's department and it's very dangerous. You get in there, you'll fuck around and fall in love with somebody and be losing, 10 years of your life to an idiocracy idea that you're in love. It's dangerous. Love potions and shit like that. He wants everybody to feel that way. He wants you to feel the bliss of love, but you don't want it to be delusional. Really? I was in love for 20 years. I don't think you were ever in love once. Really? Nah, not God's love. And it's scary. That's where we started with all this. I'm leaving all this here. Okay, I'll put you back. We'll read that card another day. I feel like that card lines up with the green card. Let's put these guys back. And we'll start back where we started. Take it one ascending master at a time. We'll talk about the sacred ecosystem and the heart healing on the next video. Why? Because I did an hour and 40 minutes of just ascending master shit. I promise you, it's all how it all happened. What happened to you? A guy messaged me, and I got filled with all these feelings. What was it? Love? Really? And it happened again. And it kept happening. I wasn't falling in love. It was activating inside of me. I didn't fall in love with any of these guys. That's what pisses me off. Because you think that you get a chance to fall in love. That something special happens between you and you build this loving bond. Nope. It just happens. And you're in love and you don't know it. You don't know what's happening to you. By the time you realize it, it's too late. And now all you want to do is not be in love. Can't do anything about it. You didn't even have control to begin with. You didn't even know what was happening. And now you think you're going to take control? I did this for 3 years trying to control this, dude. Till finally I realized you couldn't. That the whole point was to give into it, no matter where it took you, no matter how scared you were. Why? Because it's going to take you somewhere that you need to go. Really? Why the fuck did you make me think I could be with that guy? You needed to believe in something. You know, you and your fucking illusions, God. If you didn't believe in that person and start loving again, you would have never believed in, you would have never loved. It's not about, you know what I mean? It's not about the vehicle that you're riding in on. It's about the journey, bro. It's like I was supposed to ride this relationship to the end. Well, this relationship fucking ended, and now I'm out here walking down a lonely path all by myself. But somebody's going to come pick you up, take you on a new relationship. And then they might drop your ass off on the side of the road again like the last motherfucker. But somebody's going to pick you up. You ain't walking down a path. There's going to be some straggler that got kicked out of their lover kicked them out of the vehicle too. Now you got somebody that's going through what you're going through. You guys could keep walking this long route together, or we could try to catch another ride up to love. I'm just saying. Really? Enjoy the ride. I'm done. Love yous. Laters. Bye-bye. Oh, what does it say in this message? Hold on. Oh, I missed it. Sorry.